Okay. So in our last part of s- just a second. Okay. Good afternoon to all. This is our 102 Organizational Behavior Unit number 1 session going on, and we'll be doing the second part of the chapter 1, that is from organizational behavior. Right. So the second part of a unit 1 is attitudes, values, and emotions. So first we are going to cover up the part of attitudes. Okay. I'll just ask the question that what do you mean by attitude? Yes, from student side. What do you mean by attitude? Yes, anyone, please.
It's the way you behave.
The way you behave. Yes, more responses. Yes. Why I need to take names all the time? Can't you unmute and speak up every time?
Yes, ma'am. It may be a perception of anything, any object, and behaving accordingly.
Okay. Who else? Yes. Okay. Okay. Why are we studying attitude in this subject? Can anyone please put light on this topic? Yes. Why are we studying attitudes?
Because your attitude work, for example, when you're talking in your organization, your attitude is that is your first impression that anybody makes.
Right. So attitude is the topic that has been included in this subject because when we are going to study about the human and human behavior, human psychology at organization, then attitude will be the very significant part that will be playing role in it, right? So this topic is also included in the part of your syllabus, so as to make you understand that how attitude works while we are in concern with the organization, its environment, its behavior, and how attitude can impact on certain things. So that's the reason the point attitude is included in the syllabus. Okay. So the content part of the attitude will be like the importance of attitude in an organization, right attitude, then components of attitude, relationship between attitude and behavior. Then we are also going to cover the part of developing emotional intelligence at workplace, then identifying the job attitude and how it works, and lastly will be the part of barriers to changing the attitude. So in case of any doubt or query, you can just ping me or can raise your hand or you can unmute yourself. Okay. So I will first go to the introduction part. So attitude represents the beliefs, feelings, and action tendencies towards objects, ideas, or people. So whenever we are going to say the word or utter the word attitude, it will be all about something that we have in our mind related to certain thing, right? It may be the object, it may be idea, or it may be even people. So we have certain beliefs, we have certain thoughts in our mind regarding that particular person or object or an idea, and all those things, our beliefs, our feelings, are responsible for the action that we tend to do. So all these represents our attitude. So attitudes are evaluative statements or judgments concerning object, people, or events. So all these things are nothing but the evaluation statements. Means what? Whatever you have observed about the object or about the idea or the people, all these things comes together, and we have certain belief, feeling, or a particular thought about that object or person. So that is what we do, evaluation of that object or person, and we have certain points regarding those. So those are the evaluations that we make in our mind regarding that certain thing, and that turns out to be the attitude for that particular thing, or the judgment that we have done over that particular person, object, or event concerning certain actions, concerning certain events that have been occurred in past, or with our observations that we do. We have certain judgments that we have for those certain people or objects, and those are considered again under attitudes. So attitudes may be favorable or they may be unfavorable concerning certain objects or events or even a person. So some might develop a favorable attitude, some might develop very unfavorable attitudes towards certain things. So it will always have impact on the behavior of the person who is going to study that person and develop an attitude, right? So if the you can say if the inputs that the person got about that event or object or person are goods, or you have got certain good vibes from them, then he will have obviously a favorable attitude, or you can say as a positive one. But in case of scenario wherein the outputs are not proper, or he have some negativity developed by observing or while having an experience with that object, person or event, he will create his mind will start creating very unfavorable things regarding those people or objects. So there will be a generation of negative attitude, or you can call it as unfavorable attitude in the mind of the person, and he will then tend to behave according to the attitude developed. If the attitude is favorable, he will tend to behave in a good way. If the attitude is unfavorable, then same might not be the situation. So in this way, whenever you have been asked that what is attitude, attitude is nothing but the belief, feeling, or action tendency that a person develops regarding certain objects, ideas, or people, or they are simply evaluative statements or the judgments concerning that particular thing or person, and they may be favorable or unfavorable. So any doubt so far? Yes, you have to speak up, people, because if you are not going to respond, I'll need to take your names and ask questions. Yes.
No, ma'am.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll move forward. Now, next here we are having the definition of attitudes. So, attitude are learned predispositions, tendencies. Predispositions are nothing but the tendencies. So, attitudes are learned tendencies, you can say, towards aspect of our environments. Means whatever tendency we developed or we have learned so far with respect to the environment in which we are living are considered under attitudes. They may be positively or negatively directed towards certain people, service, or institutions. Okay, so attitude is nothing but a learned predispositions towards aspects of our environment. They may be positively or negatively directed towards certain people, services, or institutions. Means this attitude is not only for a human being, but attitude can be also developed with respect to certain services or institutions. We usually say, "Ki, "Arey, this person is not good," so we have certain negativity developed out of it. Or usually banks, government banks or nationalized banks, we always have some negative comment to do on them because they are not providing us a proper service. So we usually say that these people are not good, or these banks are not providing a very appropriate and prompt services. So we say that we have certain problem with the services. So again here the negative attitude is developed with respect to the service. If for any institutions, you can say if any institution is providing a very good support and education and placements, then we say that that institution is really good, it is providing very much benefits to the students. So we have here developed a positive attitude. And what how these all attitudes are developed, because we are continuously learning or observing the environment or the things that are going around us. We are identifying the various aspects that are related to your behavior, your feelings, or the instincts that you get, or the things that you see in your day to day life, and slowly, steadily, a certain you can say opinion or a judgment has been developed in our mind, and that turns us to take certain decisions, that turns us to take certain response, or you can say depending on those inputs that are available in our mind, we react or we act. So all these are or all these actions are nothing but the attitudes that we have regarding certain things. So an attitude is a mental state of readiness learned and organized through experience, exerting a specific influence on person's response to people, object and situations with which it is related. Means attitude is nothing but mental state of readiness, means we are ready and we have very much clear known thing to us that what I am going to behave, what I know about certain thing, and how I am ready with all the knowledge about that particular certain thing or a person. So that is a ready mental state, which is learned and organized through experience. Means whatever the previous experience the person have received or whatever things he has observed, depending on those he starts learning that how the things are going on, how the person in front or the object or the situation is doing its things or acting, and what are its impact, and slowly steadily we tend to learn those things. We organize those experiences, we organize then our thoughts, and we have a final certain evaluation based on those experience, that what we know and what we have in our mind about that certain things. So depending on that, our way of responding towards that particular thing gets influenced. Are you getting? कळतंय का?
Yes,
ma'am.
सो मेंटल स्टेट ऑफ रेडीनेस म्हणजे काय आहे, की तुमचं मेंटल कंडिशन ज्याच्यामध्ये तुम्ही वेल प्रिपेअर्ड असता, तुम्हाला माहीत असतं तुमच्या अनुभवांपासून होत गेलेले प्रसंग किंवा जे काही तुम्ही फेस केले, ऑब्झर्व केले, जे काही तुम्ही एक्सपिरियन्स केलाय, त्या सगळ्या गोष्टींना तुम्ही कंटिन्युअसली स्टडी करत असता, त्यापासून शिकत असता, तुम्ही त्या ऑर्गनाइज करता. म्हणजे पहिले काय झालं, मग त्याचा परिणाम काय झाला, मग पुढे काय झालं, आपण वेल ऑर्गनाइज करतो विद इन आवर माइंड, अँड देन वी नो that what I know or what is my opinion about certain thing, right? आपल्या डोक्यामध्ये एक चित्र तयार होतं त्या व्यक्तीबद्दल किंवा त्या वस्तूबद्दल किंवा त्या सिच्युएशन बद्दल, की कसं आहे, काय आहे, आणि मला माहिती आहे जे काय आहे ते, माझं एक ओपिनियन तयार होतो, अँड तो ओपिनियन आपल्याला इन्फ्लुअन्स करतो. त्याच्यावर आपलं बिहेवियर किंवा रिस्पॉन्स करणं त्या गोष्टी किंवा व्यक्ती रिलेटेड हे चेंज होत राहतं. सो दॅट रेडीनेस ऑफ माइंड or which has been achieved due to learned and organized through the experience influences a person to respond to that people, object and situation with which it is related. So the response or the experience is good, favorable attitude will develop and your response will be good. If the negative or unfavorable attitude is developed, your response will not be that good, it will be negative and you will not behave in a very appropriate or a good manner which you would have been. Okay. Who is this? Please unmute yourself. It is creating disturbance. Yes. Now nature of attitudes. इथपर्यंत कळलंय का सगळ्यांना?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Nature of attitudes. Attitudes are learned. Means attitude is not like directly developed. They are learned slowly, steadily, and by experiences. Okay. Attitude refers to the feelings and beliefs. Means they are something which are related to feelings that we feel about something or some people or about the certain situation that we face, and beliefs. Why beliefs? Because after getting those experience, we have certain opinions that are developed within us, and that creates a strong belief or opinion about that particular thing. So it refers to attitude. Next is attitudes endure unless something happens. Means unless something is not happened, your attitude is not developed, you are very neutral up to then. Okay, so endurance take place only when something is happening, you have observed that, you have faced that, you have learned that, and then only you will endure your attitude. Next is attitude can fall anywhere along a continuum for very favorable or unfavorable. Means attitude will be anything, but it will be in a continuous state. Then if it is favorable, it will remain favorable for a longer period of time, or it will remain unfavorable. If it is initially unfavorable, then unfavorable for a longer period of time. So it will be continuous, and to change attitude it is very difficult. Or to have some, if you think negatively about a person or a object or a situation or a thing, you for that instance, it is very difficult for that individual to change his attitude towards certain things, because whatever past experience he has out of those uh, pressurizes him to do not go vague from that thing that he have faced. So it makes him focus and stay stuck to the points where he have experienced those unfavorable things, and that does not lets him to change his behavior or attitude towards that certain thing. So it is very difficult to change someone's attitudes. Very much time it remains in a continuous flow, whether if it is favorable, then it will stay longer time, it will stay in a favorable condition, and if it's not unfavorable, it will be unfavorable for a longer period of time. Then attitudes are organized and are core to an individual. So it is very obvious that, see, every individual have certain attitude, and that is very much a basic part of a human life. You can't just say that this person is without attitude and he doesn't think about anything and he doesn't have any insights about certain things. Every person has a certain instinct, a certain opinion, which are very concrete at certain places, very loose at certain points, but it is mandatory to have, and every individual has. So it is very much core part of any individual and a thinking process. So attitude are organized and are core to an individual. So all people, irrespective of their status or intelligence, holds attitude, which right now I said that however be the person, though he may be less intelligent, more intelligent, having high level of status, or belongs to a very poverty area, or anything you can consider, but he has certain opinion, certain thoughts, certain beliefs, certain feelings, certain experience about certain people, thing, and certain services, institutions, or anything. And these are the things that is carried out with every person in his mind, and are the, you can say, core part of an individual. So no person you can find having no attitude hold with himself. So it is a mandatory, you can say, part of human behavior. Are you clear with this? Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now you can see this figure. This figure expresses the components of attitude. So basically, there are three components of attitudes which are interlinked with each other and forms your final attitude. So that is cognitive, affective, and behavior. So cognitive component, affective component, and behavior component work together to form a certain attitude about certain thing, person, or people in a person's mind. Okay, so now we will see one by one that what does it means. Now, components of attitude. Attitude has three components, and they are: first is cognitive, affective, and behavioral. So, cognitive component means what? The belief, opinion, knowledge, or information held by the individual. So nothing are the cognitive components. That is cognition, gathering of information, right? So cognitive is nothing but a cognition. Cognition means gathering of information. So cognitive component is nothing but the belief, opinion, and knowledge, or the information a person has developed or gathered about certain thing for which he has developed his attitude. Then next part is the affective, the feelings, sentiment, moods, and emotions about some ideas, person, event, or object that are developed within the mind of a person or an individual because of his cognition, that is because of his belief, opinion, and knowledge, are considered to be the affective part. म्हणजे एखादा, जेव्हा आपण कॉग्निशन म्हणतो, तर कॉग्निशन म्हणजे काय आहे? तुमच्या मनात किंवा तुमच्या डोक्यात एखाद्या व्यक्ती किंवा एखाद्या गोष्टीबद्दल असलेली माहिती, त्याच्याबद्दल असलेलं ओपिनियन, त्याच्याबद्दल असलेलं बिलीफ किंवा इन्फॉर्मेशन किंवा नॉलेज, जे काय, त्याला आपण कॉग्निशन किंवा कॉग्नेटिव्ह अप्रोच असं म्हणतो. मीन्स इन्फॉर्मेशन गॅदरिंग. ठीक आहे. So this is, all these things goes in our mind, right? So that is a cognition part, and due to the cognition, affective part is developed. म्हणजे जे काही तुम्हाला एखाद्या इंडिव्हिज्युअलबद्दल बिलीफ, ओपिनियन आणि नॉलेज, इन्फॉर्मेशन असतं, त्यावरून तुमच्या फीलिंग्स डेव्हलप होतात, त्यावरून तुमचे सेंटिमेंट्स डेव्हलप होतात, तुमचे मूड चेंज होतात, तुमचे इमोशन्स चेंज होतात, डिपेंडंट असतात एखाद्या व्यक्ती किंवा इव्हेंट किंवा पर्सनबद्दल. ठीक आहे. सो knowledge or opinion or beliefs are somewhere related to the affective component part. ठीक है. Next is the behavioral, the predisposition, that is the tendency. Predispositions means nothing but tendency. So the tendency to get on a favorable or unfavorable evaluation of something. So अशी टेंडन्सी, सी एव्हरी ह्युमन बिंग हॅव दिस टेंडन्सी, राईट. सो प्रत्येक ह्युमन बिंगची टेंडन्सी, जी त्याला एखाद्या गोष्टीबद्दल, म्हणजे ती व्यक्ती असू दे किंवा पर्सन असू दे किंवा थिंग असू दे किंवा ऑब्जेक्ट असू दे, त्याबद्दल एक मत तयार करायला हेल्प करते, किंवा इव्हॅल्युएशन साठी त्या व्यक्तीबद्दलचं किंवा मत तयार करण्याचं जे काम असतं, मग भले ते फेवरेबल मत असू दे किंवा अनफेवरेबल असू दे, हे इव्हॅल्युएट करायला जी मदत करत असते, ही आपली ह्युमन टेंडन्सी आहे. त्याला आपण बिहेवियरल कॉम्पोनंट म्हणतो ॲटिट्यूडमधला. ओके. सो कॉग्निशन इज नथिंग बट द knowledge, opinion about individual. Affective is the feeling or sentiment or mood about a person or event, and behavioral is nothing but the tendency to get favorable or unfavorable with the evaluation of something. Once you start studying and now you have your answer ready with you, की ती व्यक्ती कशी आहे किंवा ती वस्तू कशी आहे, whether it is good, bad, worst, anything, right? So that comes under behavioral tendencies. Okay. So any doubt so far? Components कळलेत का?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, now here is one example. Here is small situation given. You can just easily identify depending on that की cognitive, behavioral आणि effective हे कसं काम करतं. ठीक आहे. अफेक्टिव्ह सगळ्यात, आणि हे तिन्ही एक गोष्ट लक्षात घ्या की ऑल दीज थ्री आर इंटरलिंक्ड विथ इच अदर, अँड दीज थ्री कंबाईन टुगेदर टू फॉर्म अ ॲटिट्यूड, राईट. हा ॲटिट्यूड काय आहे की आपल्या मनात एखाद्या वस्तूबद्दल डेव्हलप होणारी जी स्थिती असते, जसं की आपण बँक म्हटलं की अरे, नॅशनलाइज बँक मीन्स आता टाइम कन्झ्युमिंग काम आहे, हा ॲटिट्यूड आपल्या मनात डेव्हलप झाला, राईट. तर हा ॲटिट्यूड कसा डेव्हलप होतो, तर ह्या तीन कॉम्पोनंट्समुळे, कॉग्नेटिव्ह, अफेक्टिव्ह आणि बिहेवियर. हिअर इज वन स्मॉल सिच्युएशन गिवन, लाईक the superior has there are two people working in an organization, and their superior has promoted one person and other is not promoted fairly, so he is sad now. So depending on that, here we have divided that feeling and that emotions into the three components of attitude, that how his attitude now will develop with respect to his supervisor. So the first part is cognitive. So cognitive म्हणजे काय आहे, इव्हॅल्युएशन और गॅदरिंग ऑफ इन्फॉर्मेशन अँड गेटिंग समथिंग आउट ऑफ इट, त्याच्यातून एक तुमचं बिलीफ तयार होणार, राईट. सो माय सुपरवायझर gave a promotion to a co-worker who deserved it less than me. So my supervisor is unfair. So पहिल्यांदा he collected the information. What information was collected? Ki his superior or the immediate boss has given promotion to the co-worker who was working with him, and he has not been promoted though he was more deserving. म्हणजे त्या व्यक्तीची जास्त म्हणजे तो डिझर्व करत होता प्रमोशन, पण त्याच्या मित्राला, त्याच्या को-वर्करला दिलं आणि त्याला दिलेलं नाहीये. सो यामुळे त्याचा जो सुपरवायझर आहे त्याबद्दल त्याच्या मनात काय येणार आहे की माय सुपरवायझर इज अनफेअर, कारण त्याने फेअरली ट्रीट नाही केलं आणि त्यामुळे मला प्रमोशन मिळालेलं नाहीये. सो हिअर व्हॉट इज हॅपनिंग, knowledge, information is collected and the opinion is developed, right. So again evaluation is there. So that is a cognitive component. Now affective मध्ये आपण काय म्हटलो, sentiment, mood, that is developed. So due to the situation that have been occurred while the phase of promotion, so the person now here he talks about his feeling, त्याचे feelings कसे असणार आहे, he will be sad, upset, little angry, right. He won't be feeling like going to the office and working again, right. सो आय डिसलाईक माय सुपरवायझर, आणि ह्या सगळ्याचा राग तो कोणावर काढणार आहे, त्याच्या सुपरवायझर, बिकॉज ही हॅड डन अनफेअरनेस विथ द एम्प्लॉईज, राईट. So I dislike my supervisor. So that is the kind of feeling, the anger, negativity develops झाली. So that is affective, right? And the third part or the third component, that is behavioral. Behavioral म्हणजे इथे तुम्ही action काय घेणार आहात त्या सगळ्यावर. So behavioral is nothing but the action. Now the action is like, I am looking for other work. I have complained about my supervisor to anyone who would listen. आता ह्या सगळ्या गोष्टींचा म्हणजे अनफेअरली ट्रीट केलं, प्रमोशन नाही दिलं, ह्याचं काय झालं की त्यावरून असं लक्षात आलं की सुपरवायझर इज नॉट अ गुड पर्सन. आणि त्याचा इफेक्ट काय झाला की नाव ही डझंट लाईक द सुपरवायझर, राईट. अँड ह्या सगळ्याचा बिहेवियर किंवा ॲक्शन काय असणार आहे आता, I am looking for other work, means he is now going to switch his job because he was unhappy that he was not promoted though he deserved to be, right? So now, and along with that, what he is going to do, he's also going to complain about all these things to the supervisor, to anyone who would listen to him, that why he is leaving the job and how that supervisor have wrongly or unfairly behaved. And due to these three things, the attitude is now developed in the mind of that person. So listen, cognitive and behavioral are very much interlinked with each other, because depending on the cognitive evaluation, the behavioral action will take place. Okay. Now, due to cognitive evaluation, your mood will be changing. So again, cognitive and affective are interlinked, and depending on the interlinked linkation of behavioral and feeling, so as the feeling are going to hampered, so depending on the hampered feeling, the action will take place. So again, affective and behavioral part will again be linked to each other. So in this way, these three are interlinked with each other, and together they form the attitude. I hope you all have understood this. कळलंय का? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is the way the three components of the attitude works with each other. Fine. Now, in short, they have mentioned here the components of an attitude. Cognitive. Cognitive means nothing but it is the opinion or belief segment of the attitude of an attitude. Then affective. It is the emotion or feeling segment of an attitude. आणि behavioral मध्ये काय येणार आहे, an intention to behave in a certain way towards someone or something. So here intention to behave means the thing is done with purpose. So this purpose will be dependent on the affective and a cognitive part. म्हणजे तुमचे काय ओपिनियन डेव्हलप झालेत, काय बिलीफ डेव्हलप झाल्यात, आणि त्यामुळे तुमचा मूड कसा आहे, तुमचं फिलिंग इमोशन्स कसे आहेत, ह्यावरती डिपेंड असणार आहे आता की तुम्ही कशा प्रकारचं बिहेव करणार आहात. सो द इंटेन्शन टू बिहेव विल डिपेंड ऑन इट. कळलंय का? सो इन दिस वे these three things are interlinked with each other. Now, types of attitude. So, usually there are two types of attitude. Okay, positive attitude and the negative attitude. So, anyone can tell that how it is different, negative attitude, positive attitude, how it is developed? Yes, please. Speak fast, others I'll have to take your names. Yes, Shweta Naik, Bhumika Guzar, Nishant Patil, Ruchi, Prachi Varude, Saili, Neha. Come on, fast. Give your answers fast, quickly. We don't have that ample enough time to wait. Okay. I'll move forward and our session will end with the question answer part. Okay. So attitude are basically of two types, that is positive attitude and the negative attitude. So we'll see first how these attitude means what leads to drive positive attitude and negative attitude. Okay. So the formation of attitude depends on these 4 5 things, right? So first is classical conditioning, means what is the condition in which the attitude is developed. Were those conditions favorable, good, bad, or how were they? So that is the thing on which the attitude is developed. Then operant condition, that is means how was the conditions at those time, or which conditions have influenced the person to create a particular attitude which is negative or positive. Then family and peer group. See, whenever since human being a social animal, he is always with a certain company with him, right? It may be family, it may be peers, it may be friends, it may be colleagues, it may be anyone, right? So how is the attitude of the people surrounding you is very much important while developing your attitude. So that is also one more thing that can hamper while developing the attitude, or is responsible while developing the attitude. Next is neighborhood. So how is your neighborhood means, that is how the place where you belong, the people with whom you are continuously working, or sharing the environment. Okay, those are also somewhere responsible for developing attitude, uh, or you can say for developing the way you think or your perceptions. All those are dependent on the neighborhood in which you live. Next is the economic status. Yes, though it sounds little different, but it matters a lot. Economic status also has a very impactful influence on developing an attitude. Usually, when a person is having economically high level status, his attitude usually changes towards looking at certain things. So all these things really matters and have impact on formation of attitude. Next is mass communication. So mass communication means when certain things are communicated in lot, or when many people are gathered and certain information has been given. So that also a kind of change your perception towards taking the things or understanding certain things. So mass communication is also responsible for development of the attitude. Then experience with the object. So this is the most crucial part, you can say. All these things are really important and do impact while formation of attitude, but experience of the person himself with regard to that particular object or people, uh, due to those experience, when the object attitude is formed, that is very strongly formed attitude. So it is the most impacting part or very crucial part, which can affect a lot while formation of attitude. And such kind of attitude remains in continuum, means continue are carried forward continuously, because that is the self experience that person has. And see, when we have certain experience by our own, we have those as a very strong point to comment on and show our action towards. So experience with the object, and then the attitude is formed, then these kinds of attitudes are very strong attitudes, and very uh, means you can say very having less scope to get change. So these are the various inputs which are responsible for the formation of your attitudes. I hope you all are getting this. Yes, any doubts so far? Yes, Bhosle.
Ma'am, will you explain classical conditioning and operant conditioning?
See, the difference between when we are saying about operant conditioning, no, it is much more part that is related to being influenced by or being influenced with, right? म्हणजे एखाद्या वेळेस जेव्हा आपण एखादी गोष्ट वी आर वर्किंग ऑन सर्टन थिंग्स अँड सर्टन पीपल who influence you, or who influence your opinion by continuously giving you inputs of their experience, or telling you on certain things again and again, or you can say again and again hammering of certain opinions which are of their experiences, and they are again and again telling you those experiences and sharing those experience, and then you have created certain opinion about that product or that individual. Then such kind of attitudes are due to the operant conditioning, that is due to being influenced by someone else. कळलं का? So that is operant conditioning. And classical conditioning means the situations that are responsible. So they may be controllable by us, or without in our control. And then due to those conditions, we have formed certain attitude about certain people or situations. Then those are considered under classical conditioning. Clear with this? Okay.
Yes.
So any other doubt, anyone? Okay. So I hope there are no doubts so far, and you'll all be able to answer the questions very quickly. So I'll move towards the next slide. Okay. So whatever we discussed just now in the previous slide, right? Here are the explanations about all those things. So I'll basically will be covering the two parts, that is the questions that were raised by you right now, right? Classical conditioning. So first described by Ivan Pavlov, a Russian psychologist. It is a kind of learning that occurs when a neutral stimulus means you don't have any kind of opinion, you are very neutral, means you don't have positive opinions, you don't have negative opinions, and your mind is very much a clean sheet. Okay, so at that time, uh, when a neutral stimulus becomes so strongly associated with another stimulus b, that results in learned response. Means just a second. So sorry. When a very neutral stimulus becomes very strongly associated with another stimulus, that results in learned response, means due to the conditions that give you certain inputs, right? And you get learned from those responses. So that is the situation. Then A alone causes that response. Classical conditioning involves making an association between an involuntary response and a stimulus. For example, advertisement, right? So whenever you usually go on listening to the advertisement that certain product is very beneficial, very beneficial, very beneficial, many times due to continuously being in that environment of listening about good things about that product, you start creating a good image of that product due to continuously advertisement, due to continuously listening about it, and due to that condition you form your opinion. So that is called as classical conditioning, right? So continuously getting knowledgeable or continuously having been informed about certain thing due to some other known stimulus, means who has already the opinion about that particular thing, and that particular individual, and they are continuously informing you about that, then you tend to develop your opinion which is very much influenced by them, and it is called as advertisement for sorry, it is called as classical conditioning. So example is used, which is used in advertisement, means in advertisement they'll show that there is certain product, for example a shampoo, and you have applied, and the girl in the advertisement says that previously my hairs used to be so thin and they used to fall frequently, but now after using this product I am feeling very good, and my hair growth is there and my hairs are shining. So what happens, you tend to believe that the advertisement is very true, and she's saying telling her opinion, which is very positive opinion, and the similar way you start thinking that this will be the same with me and the product is good and I should go and purchase it. So she has put forth her opinion about the product, and you, where you are neutral, means you didn't knew about the product, you have started developing a thought process which is very on a similar line of hers, and now you have got influenced, and now your attitude has been developed which is very similar to hers that was in advertisement. So this kind of attitude developed comes under classical conditioning, and one of the example of it is advertisement. I hope you all are getting this. Next is operant conditioning or instrumental conditioning. So, first described by B.F. Skinner, an American psychologist, operant conditioning is about making an association between a voluntary behavior and a consequence. So, operant is operant in that particular thing is nothing but a class of behavior that produces consequences by operating, that is, acting upon the environment, and the consequences of the behavior lead to learning, means positive reinforcement or negative reinforcement. Now here the example is a child praising a a parent praising a child for good. So see what happens when a certain parent is praising their child, that yeah, my son or daughter studies regularly, she is very knowledgeable, she studies for 4 hours, 5 hours, and she has really score good. So what happens, due to these things, the child also start developing that psychology that yes, if I'll study, my parents are appreciating my study, I am going to study and it is good for me, and then he starts behaving like that. So this kind of attitude is developed due to operant. Here now the operant is praising, right? So due to that praising to a child, now he has developed such kind of attitude that he has actually started studying and the response is now good. So something consequence of certain behavior comes under operant conditioning. Are you getting this? कळतंय है का है? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Go through it once again, and then too, if you have doubt, you can just ask me anytime or in the next session. Okay. Now next part is the relationship between the behavior and the attitude. Uh, okay. I don't think that we'll be completing the entire part in this session, but we'll start with it. Okay, so the basic questions that first I would like to ask are, is there any relationship between attitude and behavior? And if it is so, then how strong it will be? Yes, I want answer from your side. Yes, who is this Sushil rapper, Neha Jadhav, Bhumika Guzar? Please unmute yourself first. Ruchi Abhanga. Yes, unmute yourself fast. काजल जवळकर, जितू वाडकर, कुऱ्हाडे, गौरव, प्राची वारुळे.
Yes, madam.
Yeah. So please respond to the question. I have asked the question that is attitude and behavior related to each other, and if so, how strong they are related.
Yes, madam. It's absolute relation of both because your behavior it depends upon your attitude.
Right. When might such a relationship exist, and how do attitude influence behavior? So as Sushil has already answered the question that attitude is very much uh, responsible for the human behavior and it is very strongly influenced. So there do exist a very strong relationship between the attitude and the behavior, and attitude always influence your behavior, right? So we'll see further how. Now, do attitude predicts behavior? Then yes. Just a second. Hello. Hi sir. हो काढले. हो आहेत आहेत. हां 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 चालेल सर. मी आता लेक्चर तीन तीन आहेत कॉपीज, एक स्टुडंट आणि दोन कॉलेजच्या. मी आता लेक्चरमध्येच आहे. लेक्चर झालं की येते 10 मिनिटांनी. Okay. Sorry for that disturbance. Okay, we'll continue. That do attitude predicts your behavior? Yes, it strongly very much predicts your behavior. See, very much attitude is related to behavior, right? And if you have certain attitude, you can predict the person's behavior with respect to that attitude. So there is a very strong association between them. So some research have shown has shown that there is no direct relationship between attitudes and behaviors, but indirectly they are very much related to each other. An earlier review of studies of attitude behavior relationship concluded that people's attitude are poor predictor of their behavior. However, later research indicated that attitudes can predict behavior quite well under certain circumstances. So when do attitude can predict this behavior? So there are factors that make attitudes more or less predictive of behavior. So four factors that impact the relationship and qualities of a person's attitude towards behavior are like behavior, that is general versus specific, then the person to whom it is being asked, then the situation when and how are they being asked, and finally the attitude, how was the attitude formed. So depending on these four things, you can identify or the predict behavior from the attitude of a person. Okay. So, behavior being predicted. Attitudes and behaviors must be measured at the same level of specificity. Example, a person's attitude towards their general health will not predict their readiness to jog. ओके, आर यू गेटिंग दिस एक्झाम्पल? म्हणजे जरी एखाद्या इफ अ पर्सन्स ॲटिट्यूड टुवर्ड्स हिज जनरल हेल्थ विल नॉट प्रिडिक्ट हिज रेडीनेस टू जॉक. म्हणजे की एखादा व्यक्ती भलेही त्याला त्याची मेडिकल कंडिशन माहीत असेल, तर नॉट नेसेसरी की त्यावर म्हणजे त्याला त्याच्या जनरल हेल्थची काळजी आहे म्हणजे तो जॉग करेलच, किंवा जरी त्याला अवेअरनेस असेल हेल्थ रिलेटेड, तरी तो लगेच मानसिकतेनं एक्सरसाइज आणि हे करायला लगेचच रेडी होईल असं नाही आहे. So though his attitude towards his health may be very much good, he want to develop a good health, he knows that his health needs very much pampering to get in a very fit stage, but then too his mind will not get that easily ready to go and exercise or do jogging at a very regular intervals. So not necessary that every time that attitude will create a readiness in your mind to put that attitude into actual actions. Okay. So specific attitudes will predict specific behaviors. ठराविक गोष्टी किंवा ठराविक attitudes ठराविक behavior आपल्याला observe करता येतं. So they must be very crucial. Now, when you ask a person, you ask, certain people's attitude are more consistent with their behavior than others. So, example, high self motivators. So, I think this part is little continuous. So, we should do this in the later half because these are all situation based thing and example which are interconnected with each other. So if we'll do this right now, we'll need to again take this on repeat part because this part is again connected to the situation and the situation will be the predictor. So I think we will stop here 5 minutes early so that we can take this part in a continuous way so that there will be no disturbance while learning this session. Okay. So I just want to ask that do you have any doubt till now? Yes. Yes. Any doubt so far? Okay. So I don't think there are any doubt from your side. Uh, Prachi Varule, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
काही डाऊट आहे का? कळलंय का सगळं?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Gaurav Kurade has message that he has no doubts. Anyone else? See, if you feel shy to say, you can just put that in chat box. Okay. So yeah, what we'll do in our next session, we are going to take one example and we are going to take the same example, carry forward it, so that each part will be easily understood by you all. Okay. So with this, I hope that as you all are saying that you don't have any kind of doubt, so the session is clear for today. And with this, I conclude today's session. And thank you for attending. So thank you again, and you all may now leave today's session. Thank you.